My wife is a model of an outstanding woman. Her unique ability to turn the simplest things into extraordinary masterpieces is truly amazing. Whether she is preparing a delicious salad, weaving an engaging story that captivates her audience, or creating a fashionable hat, no one can match her skills. Even the legendary Coco Chanel would be captivated by my wife's ingenuity. Adelina combines intelligence with beauty, enabling her to stand out in any situation. Her charm naturally attracts people, whether they are friends, colleagues, or partners she meets at social events. She can elegantly balance easy flirting with genuine kindness. Her keen intelligence and graceful demeanor are the tools she uses to always achieve her goals. I feel immense pride when others envy my position to have such an extraordinary woman by my side. Even her name, Adelina, reflects her authenticity and radiance. When we first met, she was an expert at an insurance company, having worked there for over 6 years. Her dedication and work ethic led to her being promoted to head of the department responsible for overseeing the development of the company's internal network, an outstanding achievement. The company recognized her talent and promoted her to head of the regional sales department. I often refer to her career affectionately as her career because she is good at all aspects of life, from keeping our home in order to maintaining our relationship to flourishing in her career. She seems to handle it all with ease. When the company organized a quarterly reporting meeting, they also threw a party. Although Adelina would rather spend the evening at home, she could not refuse. As the head of the sales network, her presence was crucial. She had an important role to play at the event, both in terms of formal speeches and informal exchanges. The party was intended to involve everyone in the company, from the boss and CEO to employees and agents. Even as she made her virtual preparations, I could feel the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. A week later, the day of the event arrived. I drove her to the hotel and restaurant on the outskirts of the city, where the meeting would take place. The venue was fully equipped with a conference room, a banquet hall, and hotel rooms for out-of-town participants. The Millennium Insurance Company, for which she works, spared no expense in recognizing its successful sales team. Adelina exuded elegance. Her light blonde hair, carefully coiffed to frame her delicate features, and the stylish black dress she wore highlighted her graceful figure. She had expertly combined professionalism with seductive lace-trimmed stockings, stiletto heels, exquisite makeup, and her favorite perfume. When we arrived at the venue, it was lavishly decorated with plush carpets, festive balloon decorations, and promotional banners. Soft music played as the serving staff offered appetizers to the arriving guests. Before I left, Adelina gave me her trademark deep kiss and assured me she would make her own way home after the event. The event was scheduled to end at midnight. At midnight, my Cinderella did not return. Hours passed, and although her phone's alert indicated that the party was still going strong, I fell into uneasy silence. My mind was full of questions, but I comforted myself by telling myself that she was probably just tired and would be home soon. With this thought, I fell into uneasy sleep, unaware that the commotion 3 nights later was quietly brewing. The clock's dim light showed just after 4 a.m., and the first rays of summer dawn began to illuminate the room. I turned over, and my wife had just messed up the bed linen as if nothing had happened. Still groggy and unsettled, I instinctively reached out to cover her, but the sight in front of me stunned me. She was lying on her side, her purse, mobile phone, and high heels scattered halfway across the floor. One stocking was down around her knee, the other clutched in her hand. Her immaculate hair was in disarray, as if she had just stepped out of a whirlwind. Most disturbing of all was the fact that she was not wearing any underwear under her skirt, which revealed far too much. I tried to make sense of it all, but the complete absence of underwear confused me. While it was unusual, it defied logic to have it disappear completely. For a moment, I couldn't help but want to question her, and a comical scene flashed through my mind, with Nicholas emerging from a farce movie. But I quickly realized that any attempt to get a coherent explanation from her in her current state would be futile. Determined to uncover the truth, I began to retrace her steps like a detective following a trail. However, within the confines of our home, I found nothing, no evidence, no clues. Just a framed diploma recognizing Adelina's impeccable work ethic and outstanding achievements. Despite my best efforts, the mystery of what happened that night remained frustratingly unsolved. I smoked nearly 2 packs of cigarettes and drank half a can of coffee. Countless scenarios flashed through my mind, but they all pointed to the same heartbreaking conclusion. My wife, Adelina, was unfaithful. Desperate for answers, I confronted her directly. Her response was fragmented and vague. She complained of a severe headache and claimed not to remember anything from that night. Strangely, my relief at her loss of memory was tempered by the fact that, as she sipped her black coffee, the reality of her situation began to sink in. The void in her memory seemed to deepen her unease. She recalled fragments of the evening: the formalities, the awards ceremony, the opening banquet, and the dance announced by the host. She even remembered winning the kangaroo jumping competition and the lollipop that had been the prize, which had somehow ended up in her underwear. Despite her repeated reminders, the feeling of unease lingered in her memories. She hadn't been able to go home as she had hoped, but had returned with glaring gaps in her memory. Jealousy and suspicion crept into my thoughts. I doubted my once perfect wife, and I was determined to uncover the truth. I asked her to call her friend and colleague, Ola, on speakerphone. Despite her obvious embarrassment, Adelina did as she was told, realizing she had no choice. "Adelina, please don't make me laugh," Ola said half-jokingly. "You don't remember anything?" Ola continued to recount the events of the evening. At the official event, Adelina had been nervous and paid close attention to the behavior of the teenage children. She hardly ate anything, only had a little champagne, but the award later lifted her spirits and provided a rare moment of joy in the midst of the pressure. But after the ceremony, the mood changed. Adelina found new friends at the bar, and with each drink, she became more relaxed, sharing stories from her life, her work, and the stray dog she had adopted from the office car park. She called the dog the boss, and was devastated when the company decided to move it to a shelter due to budget cuts. As the night wore on and people sought more entertainment, impromptu activities ensued. Eager to contribute, Adelina proposed auctioning off items from her closet, with all proceeds going toward building a playground for the children of Basta. To the beat of lively music, she dramatically removed a silk scarf and threw it into the crowd, triggering a burst of laughter. Although Ola and another colleague made sure Adelina got home safely, the next day, a video of the incident went viral online. Adelina watched it with me, and her face turned scarlet as she covered her face with her hands. "Oh God," she moaned. "I can't believe I did that in front of my colleagues, the team, and management." On the one hand, I felt relieved because her actions, though reckless, were motivated by pure intentions to help the boss. On the other hand, the consequences were serious, and she wondered how she would face everyone at work on Monday. "Should I just resign now and get it over with?" she muttered to herself. Her panic was interrupted by her manager's phone call. Adelina's voice came over the line. "Did you forget something last night? The auction items, the proceeds of which will go toward building a shelter, veterinary care, 6 months of food, and even the boss's passport. We only ask one condition." "What is it?" she stammered. "Don't name the dog boss," the manager replied. "Forget it," Adelina responded. After the call ended, there was silence in the room. "Well, I've finally broken the ice," she said weakly, managing a smile, embarrassed but seemingly relieved by the outcome.